Well, the Catskills have 35 mountain peaks, and Kenneth Posner knows them all. The ultra marathoner has climbed every single one of them. Now Ken tells of his journey of the so-called peak bagging challenge in his brand new book, Chasing the Grid, that explores the physical and emotional challenges that come with being an elite athlete. Ken joins us now to tell us more about this. But first of all, I don't know if we could get the camera just to zoom in on the fact that you're not wearing any shoes. And you don't wear shoes when you do this incredible climb once a month. How in the world did you come up with this fact that you wanted to be one with the earth, no shoes allowed?
Well, the fact is, Bianca, the most popular running book of all time is Born to Run, and Chris McDougall said, take off your shoes and try it. It'll save you from injuries.
Really?
And I was starting to deal with injuries.
Okay.
So just being pragmatic, I gave it a try, and to my astonishment, I discovered it was so much fun.
That is so fascinating. And this is not just these peaks and these mountains that you're climbing barefoot. You literally came to the studio, you walked around the city running some errands with no shoes on. That one even blows my mind.
Well, you know, you have to watch where you step, but when you watch where you step, it creates that mindfulness.
Sure.
And it helps to clear out the distraction. And we have so much distraction in our lives. I find it, and I think other people do, to be a very calming experience.
I don't know if I can ever understand that walking on barefoot here, but I do kind of understand when you take your shoes off, maybe in Central Park, that feeling of maybe being a little bit free. Is that the reasoning behind you saying, I'm going to do this no shoes and I'm going to do this challenge once a month?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, what I discovered in my mid-50s is that I needed a lot more nature in my life. And that was the motivation behind this peak bagging challenge. But one of the easiest ways to get that connection with nature is just take off your shoes.
Yeah.
And you'll be instantly connected, and you'll feel more like one of the animals in the forest instead of tromping through it.
I totally understand that. Talk about your book, because this is called Chasing the Grid. But I think for you, when you take your shoes off, when you're climbing these peaks every month, you're going off the grid. Why did you name it that?
Well, the grid is a very obscure peak bagging tradition in the Northeast. And for example, in the Catskills, there are 35 high peaks. And if you climb them all, and these are hikes mostly on trails, you get to join a club. The grid takes it to the next level. The grid says, do that list, but do it in every month of the year.
Wow.
So suddenly it's 35 times 12 is 420 peaks.
That's incredible.
So it's not something that requires speed or special endurance, but it is a big project. And the goal is to get to know the mountains really well and to learn about yourself at the same time.
You know, what does the average, we're watching some of this video here, you're walking on snow barefoot. What's the average time like for one of the peaks here in the Catskills barefoot? Because I'm assuming that might take you a little bit longer to do without shoes.
That's right. When you're barefoot, it's going to be slower. I just led a introductory hike up Windham High Peak in the Catskills. It's 3.5 miles to the summit. It's about 1,400 feet. We took a bunch of people, some youngsters, a 73-year-old gentleman, and we spent all day going there and coming back. Now, an ultra marathoner would zip up and down in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
We were taking our time.
That is pretty incredible, Ken. I mean, first of all, incredible that you came here barefoot, and number two, that you've done what you've done athletically. It's wow, what a feat. Where can people find your book and follow you?
Well, the book is available on Amazon. It's published by Velo Press, and you can find me at www.barefootken.com.
Love that. You've inspired me. Maybe I'll take my shoes off in Central Park. Not sure about the streets just yet, but you've inspired me.
That sounds great, Bianca.
All right,
Thank
Ken.
you.
Thanks so much for being here. Certainly appreciate it. All right, we're going to have more coming up. Nick is back with a full look at the forecast, and then a little later, we're taking you inside of a brand new pop-up showcasing classic MTA memorabilia and collectibles from the transit system's history.